just a guaranteed monthly revenue stream for the company at the expense of the consumer. What's up, guys? I'm Mr. Audio, and if you're new here on this channel, we talk about music production, sound design, mixing, mastering, and pretty much anything to get your tracks ready for release. If that sounds like something you're interested in, hit the subscribe button and notification bell so you never miss another one of these videos. I do 2 a week now. Alright, that being said, let's get in the video. So, are plugin subscriptions a trap? Yes and no. Let me explain. So I made a video last week, I'll link it up here, asking, are free waves plugins a trap? And I gave my opinions on why they are. And then very recently, Avid came out with their Pro Tools subscription model, which is definitely a trap. And then I got to thinking, are plugin subscriptions also a trap? So plugin subscriptions kind of break the barrier for entry if someone wants to try a particular bundle or get into music production, so they have all the tools. This can be a good thing, but you also have to know what you're getting yourself into before entering into these subscriptions. You have to understand that unless you can buy the same plugins outright as the ones that are in the subscription model, it is a trap. The subscription model is meant to trap you into paying them a guaranteed monthly revenue stream that they can show their bank. I'll mention 2 plugin subscriptions that are not a trap. The first one is Slate Digital. The reason I mention them is you get a whole bunch of plugins for $9.99, and you can buy the plugins outright as well. Also, to mention their free plugin, Fresh Air, is a great free plugin. The only thing that's required to access it is an internet connection. You do need to have an iLock account connected, but that's only to just make the plugin active. Once you're connected, you can disconnect from the internet and work offline if you so choose, once the project is open. And then there's a Plugin Alliance bundle. Plugin Alliance even tells you how to trick their system and gives you a $250 voucher to do so. Their yearly price is $250. So basically, whatever you put into it, you're getting back out of it at the end of the subscription, and then you could pay for those plugins that you actually use. So let's say you enter into the Plugin Alliance subscription model, and you get their bundle of everything. And you use all these plugins heavily in your productions to test them out, which is what I'd recommend you do. And then figuring out which plugins you actually like and are going to consistently use in all of your productions. Then render out the ones that you're not going to use. Make them just audio. Commit to that audio so that there's no plugins that are going to be inactive after you end your subscription. This is very important. So once you found out what you're going to use on the bundle, at the end of the subscription, you cancel it. Then you buy those plugins, and then you have them forever. And this model works great for Plugin Alliance and Slate Digital. I've heard from many people that they feel Slate Digital is the best deal because they get so many plugins for only $9.99 a month. I personally purchased a lot of Plugin Alliance plugins. If I were to get a subscription, I would go with Plugin Alliance, personally, just because I use so many of their plugins already. Now let's talk about a company called Izotope. I've done a few videos on their products before, and I'm a big fan of them. However, I'm not a big fan of their subscription model. They call this plugin the Pro Series, under the guise that it's going to be updated frequently and often when they have new features to put in those plugins. And they probably will get updated, and there'll probably be different features on them than the ones you can buy outright. So let's say you have Neutron Pro. So some of those features in Neutron Pro might not be in the version that you can buy outright called Neutron 3 at the moment. You might have to wait till Neutron 4 comes out. Now, I had the Music Production Bundle 4, and it took me a while to acquire everything in it because I bought them when they were on sale, which is what I recommend you do. But the Pro Series is a whole different set of plugins. So let's say you enter into this subscription, and your productions become riddled with these plugins. And let's say you don't use a bunch of them anymore, but they're still in your productions. You've found the ones you like, and you want to stop using the rest. So, you discontinue the subscription. Would any of your productions work or open if they had Neutron Pro in it and you bought Neutron 3? Would you have to copy those settings and delete each plugin? This seems like a lot of work for the consumer. My theory is that your productions will not work properly, or even open, maybe, depending on what digital audio workstation you operate in. No, I have not gone ahead and tested this theory out and spent the money to do it. I didn't feel I needed to. I already encountered something like this with the Free Waves plugins. I felt it was the same thing, so I moved on. Just a guaranteed monthly revenue stream for the company at the expense of the consumer. From a business standpoint, this is a great idea, but what you're selling has to be worth it every month, because at some point, you're going to pay so much into the subscription that if there's not new plugins added or updates made, you're going to have purchased all of the plugins and given them money on top of that. So what are you really paying for? I'll tell you what you're paying for. You're paying them so that your productions work. They've weaseled their way into your work as a utility bill now. What I would recommend to all these companies is a subscription-based rent-to-own type model, kind of like Splice does with Serum. I think both parties could benefit vastly from this. It would be more fair to the consumer, and you'd still get a somewhat guaranteed monthly revenue stream to show your bank. I feel like this is a win-win for everybody. And when I do finally come out with the plugins that I'm working on, I will probably adopt this model as well. I just feel like all the plugin companies trying to get on a subscription-based model to get a more guaranteed monthly revenue stream should do more rent-to-own, so it's fair for the consumer as well. I mean, unless they're going to really update these plugins and make it fair, that would be, worth it in my book. But just keep in mind that it would just become a utility bill then, something that you have to pay for to keep your studio running, like electricity or internet. If you're wondering about plugin subscriptions, these were my thoughts. I'd be happy to discuss more about your thoughts in the comments. We also have a Discord set up where you can ask questions about music production, get private feedback on your mixes, and also suggest content that I could cover here on YouTube. And with that being said, if you stuck around to the end and you're an Ableton user, I got some free Ableton racks. Links are in the description. There's also some stuff available for purchase on my website. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Mr. Audio, out.